Happy 2000. I'm back at you with another video. Yes, welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Leslie Chambers Kaiju Reviews. And as you can see here, we're doing not one, but two epic X Plus 25cm Ric Exclusive figures for today. And full disclaimer, this will be my last video of 2020. Yes, I know this year has not been the best for a lot of us, and we're waiting with bated breath for 2021 to come through. But I figured, since this year has not been the best, for all of us, I figured I'd go out with a bang. So that's why I'm doing this X Plus 25cm double figure review for today. And today we're taking a look at the X Plus 25cm Ric Exclusive edition of the battle damage version of Gamera 1999, as well as the 25cm Ric Exclusive edition of Iris. And these two monsters come from one of the most epic kaiju films of all time. Gamera 3, The Incomplete Struggle, also known as Gamera 3, The Revenge of Iris. And as you can see, I have both figures here. They are beautiful. Once again, they're both 25cm. They're both Ric Exclusives. Yes, so we're going out on a bang on Leslie Chambers Kaiju Reviews. Yes. We do things right here. Let's get up close and personal with the boxes before we get into the figures. Now, let's start off with the box of Gamera. Now, I have since trashed the box of Gamera because I'm getting to the point, as I mentioned a few times in prior videos, I'm getting to the point where that I need to trash my boxes, because for the longest time I have tried my best to hold on as many boxes as I could, but with more figures coming in, I figure it's better to have a space reserved for an actual figure than a box. So I have since trashed the box for Gamera. But Gamera, since it's in the 25cm scale, it came in the normal packaging that comes with the 25cm Dai monsters, with the brown packaging around the box and the window display, kind of similar to the Toho large monster series boxes. But the Toho versions, or the Toho boxes, are more colorful with white, blue, red, or whatever. Whereas the Gamera or the Dai monsters came in brown packaging. But not just Gamera, the 25cm Zigra, Giron, Barugon, those monsters came in that packaging. The only one that didn't come in that type of packaging was Viraz, for obvious reasons, because that monster and that figure was so big. So yeah, that was basically the packaging for this 25cm battle damage version of the 1999 Gamera. Now, Iris, on the other hand, Iris came in a bigger box with actually, the artwork that we associate with normally the 25cm, the bigger 25cm figures, or as well as the 30cm figures. And as you can see, the box for Iris is awesome, with a picture of Iris on the front, silhouette or whatever. The yellow sticker signifying that it is a Ric, 25cm, scale, whatever, and Japanese text on the box. Gamera 3 logo in the upper right hand corner. Such an epic box, and I am going to keep that box. Once again, between the two, I chose to keep Iris because between the two, in my opinion, the box for Iris is better, or the packaging for Iris is better than Gamera. But both are great packaging, but Iris makes the cut here. So that's it with the boxes. So let's get up close and personal with these figures, and let's talk about the backstory. And it's really a long backstory in a way when it comes to these figures, Iris in particular. And now we first got word of Iris coming, I want to say in 2018. But I will argue, being a huge Gamera fan, I think the idea for an eventual Iris like this started in 2016. And 2016 saw the release of the 25cm large monster series Legion, from Gamera 2 Advent of Legion, which was an epic figure and is an epic figure. And if you can find one for a great price, ladies and gentlemen, please go after that figure. But that figure came out in 2016. Now, mind you, X Plus did make a version of that Legion, or Queen Legion, I should say, like a while ago before that figure came out in 2016. But it was smaller, it was detailed, but it wasn't as big and massive and more expertly detailed as the 2016 version, right? And when that version of Legion came out in 2016, after I got it, I was like, you know what? We should probably get an Iris in somewhere in the same type of way. Because once again, like Legion, X Plus did a version of Iris, the adult Iris, but it was nowhere near as big and detailed as this version of Iris is right now, right? So the chatter started happening amongst us Gamera X Plus, figure collectors in 2016 that maybe, hopefully, we'll get an updated version of Iris like we got with Legion, right? So fast forward to, I want to say, Super Festival in 2018, in September 2018, and we first got images of a 3D rendering sculpt of this version of Iris. Yes, 25cm Iris, courtesy of the awesome digital artist Dope Pope, who did the 25cm version of Orga. And he's awesome. He is so awesome. More on Dope Pope later. So that was basically first confirmation that Iris was coming in some way, shape, or form, right? And it came up for pre-order May of this year, 2020, and it just got released in October of this year. Now, it was supposed to be released, I want to say in August or maybe September, but because of the pandemic, it pushed a lot of these release dates of these figures back a few months, and ours was no different. But when it finally came into collectors' hands, it was the most welcome addition to our collections. Now, they released the Rics first in October, and I think the standards are getting released right now as we speak at the time of recording, December of 2020. Now, let's talk about his foe in this film. Yes, Gamera 1999, the Guardian of the Universe. Now, this is the battle damaged version. This was a Ric Exclusive release. Now, they did make another version of a 25cm Gamera 1999 that came out last year, I want to say, December 2019. And even though it was a great looking figure, I wasn't really feeling it, which is why I didn't really want to get it. Now, mind you, last year I got my hands on the gigantic Prime 1 Studios of Gamera 1999, right? And even though I know that figure is super big in comparison to Iris, I was like, you know what, I'm fine with that version of Gamera 1999. Plus, I got the S Plus 30cm version of Gamera 1999. So I really didn't feel the need to go after a 25cm version. But to have this epic setup of Iris versus Gamera, you need a 25cm version of Gamera. Because I thought, actually, at first, I was going to pair up my 30cm Gamera 1999 with Iris. And I tried that, and Gamera is bigger than what he should be to be movie accurate. So I made a conscious decision, to go after a Gamera 1999 25cm version. But I didn't want the original version. So they came out with this battle damage version. They announced it actually around the same time that the first Gamera 25cm 1999 dropped in December. They announced during that month also that they were going to release a Ric Exclusive battle damaged version of Gamera 1999 that comes with the plasma fist, a stumpy arm, the Ayana cocoon that was embedded in Iris, all within a great Ric Exclusive package. And was going to be dropped, I want to say in April, but once again, the pandemic, I think, pushed that figure back. I think it got into collectors' hands, I want to say May or June, 1 or 2. Now, mind you, I didn't get my hands on Gamera 1999, or this version of Gamera 1999, until like maybe late October, right? And I got my hands on Iris a month later, around Thanksgiving of this year, right? And I'm glad I got my hands on this version of Gamera. Now, I was going to get Iris no matter what, right? But once again, I was kind of iffy on the Gamera thing. But an opportunity presented itself for me to get this version of Gamera, and I'm glad I did, because between the two versions of Gamera, the 25cm Gamera 1999, in my opinion, I think this one is the better version. But you'll find out more about that once we get up close and personal with this figure of Gamera. But that's pretty much it with the backstory involving these two figures. Like I said, with Gamera here, it's a Ric Exclusive, so it comes with some extra features. Like it comes with an interchangeable plasma arm or a stumpy arm. It comes with, like I said, the Ayana Iris cocoon that you can put in Gamera's other hand. Now, the Ric Exclusive accessory for Iris is a light up. Now, I know a lot of folks are not really into the light ups right now. They feel like they've been done to death, and I agree to a certain extent. But let me just tell you, this is one of the best light ups I've seen in a long time, and kind of rivals the other great light up that came out this year, the 2019 25cm Godzilla, because that was an epic light up, right? But don't sell the light up of Iris short either, which you'll see in a few minutes. But once again, that's pretty much it with the backstory involving me getting these two figures, the backstory on how these figures came into fruition, and I'm glad that they're here, because once again, Gamera 3 is one of the most memorable, explosive, awesome kaiju films of all time in an epic trilogy involving Gamera from the Heisei period. And I'm glad we got some great, stunning, awesome representations of those kaiju in that epic film. So let's start with up close and personal with Gamera. Let's start off with Gamera. Yes, once again, this is a 25cm battle damage version of Gamera. The sculpt is awesome. There's one thing about this version of Gamera. Now, when it comes to the Heisei versions of Godzilla, even though they're, better looking suits in terms of how they were constructed, and he looks very powerful and all that good stuff, but really when it comes to like this paint scheme of Godzilla, he's really no different somewhat than the Showa version. It's typical par for the course with charcoal gray on the skin, bone white or dirty bone white grayish color on the dorsal plates or whatever. Now with Gamera, they applied so many different shades of green, because the Showa version of Gamera was pretty much a flat, solid color, like a flat army dull green, right? On his head, on his body, his shell maybe a little bit of lighter color, but by and large, Gamera in the Showa period had pretty much the same color throughout his entire body, with the exception of his tusk, his teeth, his claws, and his feet. Now, with the Heisei version of Gamera, they applied different shades of green, where it's like dull army green or darker green for his shell, his a lighter brownish green on his abdomen here. So they applied so much great detail in the paint scheme of the Heisei version of Gamera. Not only this one, but you have, like I said, the S plus 25cm Gamera 1996 version, as well as the 30cm 1995, 96, 99. They applied so many great textures of green all over Gamera when it comes to S plus for the Heisei version of Gamera, and you can definitely add this guy onto the list. With the various shades of green all over his body, the shell is sculpted really well. Also, it has a wound, a punctured wound, like in the middle of his abdomen, as well as a wound coming out on the back of his shell, signifying what happened during the climatic battle between him and Iris in the film. Coincidentally, the Prime 1 Studios kind of had the same thing going on. Actually, you know what? The 30cm version of the S Plus Gamera 1999 has the same thing going on. Which leads me to one of the other things I love about this figure. It has an interchangeable fist, where you can interchange him having the stumpy fist, because in the film, Gamera actually self-mutilates himself to deal with Iris, right? And it comes with the stump that you see here that you can interchange with his right arm. But for me, I actually prefer him having his plasma fist, which you see here. Interchanging the two is not really that hard, quite frankly, but I love the interchangeable plasma fist with this version of Gamera, which is something that was carried over from the 30cm version, because the 30cm Ric Exclusive version of Gamera 1999 had the same thing going on, where you had an interchangeable stumpy arm, or you could put a plasma fist in his hand as well. So I'm glad that they took that Ric accessory and put it into this version of Gamera, which is awesome. But when it comes to these versions of Gamera 1999 from S Plus, the 25 and the 30, this one's kind of somewhat has a more dynamic sculpt because he is twisting, where the 30cm is more of a statuesque. He's like standing upwards and he's just looking forward. But this one has a little bit more personality when it comes to the sculpt, in my opinion. Also, another Ric accessory or Ric exclusive extra piece that comes along with this Gamera. You have basically the Iris or Ayana pink cocoon. Remember in the film where Gamera extracts Ayana from Iris, because they had a fusion in the film. Please watch the film. I know I'm saying a lot of this stuff, and if you haven't seen the film, you probably is going over your head. But please, if you're not seeing Gamera 3, pause the video right now, and then come back, because it is just that. But yes, it comes with the Ayana / Iris cocoon that you can put into Gamera's hand, which is another thing I love about this release, the fact that it takes a moment from the actual film. And I love Ric accessories like that, where it takes a certain artifact that recreates a scene or a moment from the actual film that the kaiju is in. So from the plasma fist, the interchangeable plasma fist, as well as the stumpy arm here, the Ayana cocoon where you can place in Gamera's hand, it looks really awesome. Dirty bone white color on the claws, the toes, and the teeth, the tusk, as well as the bone claws on the back of his heels here. just a great release. Just a great figure. And I'm glad, once again, that X Plus saw the need to improve upon the original Gamera 1999 25cm. Nothing against that figure, but in my opinion, once again, I think this one is the better release, quite frankly. And they packed so much into this awesome package, this Ric Exclusive package of Gamera, and it makes for a solid release. So from the sculpt, the Ric accessories, the color on the teeth, you know, his mouth, his eyes, his face looks very ferocious, the toes, everything, the shell, the puncture wounds, you know, the tail is curved and sculpted really nicely on the back of the figure. Just from head to toe, or from head to shell in Gamera's case, this is a solid release of the 25cm battle damage version, of Gamera 1999. Yes. So now let's focus on his awesome foe from this film of Gamera 3, The Revenge of Iris, with the awesome 25cm Ric Exclusive edition of the X Plus version of Iris. Once again, X Plus did this figure back in the day, and it was cool, you know, and it was cool for its time, but the time was long overdue for Iris to get an upgrade, just like we saw with Legion 2016. When I first got the figure, I was a little bit concerned on how they were going to package this figure. But they actually packaged this figure really well. Actually, you have to assemble the tentacles. Because the tentacles or the tendrils or whatever, they were packed, you know, behind Iris in the box, you know, whatever. Otherwise, if Iris would have stayed in this fixed position, it would have called for a bigger box. And considering how Legion was such a humongous box, I'm glad that they saw the need. Like, you know what? We shouldn't do that again. So you actually have to assemble the tendrils by hand, and they have like certain numbers where you have to put the appropriate tendril in the appropriate socket. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You know, and it's very easy. Now I would say that, you know, over time, because I got this figure once again in November, and a few of the tendrils have kind of sagged since then, which isn't a big deal because you know it is what it is. It's not like a fixed position like maybe Biollante, right? The X Plus version of Biollante, that was made of pretty much of hard plastic, right? But since the tendrils of Iris here are made somewhat of vinyl, they will run the risk of sagging. And a couple of my tendrils, even though they were higher upright at first, they have fallen down a little bit, but it still looks great, you know, whatever. Now, when you pick up this figure, or if you want to take photographs of this figure, if something involved in this figure where you have to really manhandle it or pick it up or whatever, please be careful because the tendrils are prone somewhat to fall out of the sockets. But as long as you don't mess around with it too much, they pretty much stay in place. So please keep that in mind once you have this version of Iris, or if you choose to go after this version of Iris. The sculpt of Iris is awesome. Once again, done by Dope Pope. Once again, he did a phenomenal job with Orga, and you'll see that in size comparisons later on. But the digital sculpt of Iris is amazing, just like the monster in the film. Once again, congrats to Dope Pope because he did an awesome job. I hope he does another Toho monster. I hope he does Megaguirus at some point, you know, whatever. Cause I think a Dope Pope sculpt of Megaguirus would be awesome. Now, it's funny, when they announced Dope Pope was going to do this figure, they actually, at first, were going to release it in the Favorite Sculptors line. Because they showed like a 3D sculpt of this figure at a show. I forgot what show it was, so forgive me. But on the tag of the display card of the monster, it said Favorite Sculptors line. But I think something changed in between then and now, because now it's just part of the 25cm scale. It's not part of the Favorite Sculptors line, which I found to be kind of weird. Because since Dope Pope is an independent contractor and a sculptor, in my opinion, X Plus, at least this Iris, deserves to be in the Favorite Sculptors line. But that's just my opinion. But Dope Pope did an incredible job with this version of Iris. And that's one thing about Iris. It's kind of hard to describe him as a monster. But he's very unique. And you know what? I gravitate to unique monsters. You know, monsters like Biollante, Legion, Destroyer, even Gigan, right? Just monsters that command your attention, especially when you come into a collection room, especially if you're a Godzilla collector like myself, and you have a room that has a sea of gray of Godzilla figures, or a sea of gold with King Ghidorah figures, or a sea of brown with King Kong figures. It's not to have certain monsters that are so unique looking, like an Iris, like a Destroyer, like a Biollante, like a Legion, like a Gigan, where people who don't know anything about these monsters will come in and they'll see the multiple Godzillas and they become fascinated. But when they see an Iris or a Biollante or a Destroyer or a Legion, like I said, they're like, oh wow, what's the story behind that monster? What's the story behind that monster? And I love gravitating to figures like this, of monsters like this, so unique as Iris, right? So it's kind of hard to describe Iris in so many words. He is just a unique monster, pretty much, you know. Whereas Legion, even though he has, or she has a unique look, basically Legion's like an alien bug. That's the best way to describe Legion. But it's kind of hard to describe Iris unless you watch the movie of Gamera 3. But the sculpt of Iris is amazing, you know, with the grays on the spikes on the back of the upper half of his body on the back, you know, with the orange of the tendrils or the membranes on the legs on Iris's body or whatever, with the blue on the crystal things on his chest, and the yellow light that's embedded into his head here. Once again, just a great figure, and a great light up, which you'll see in a few seconds. But from head to tendril to the spikes to everything, the color, just an amazing figure. It is an amazing figure. Once again, I know this figure may not be popular as like a King Ghidorah or a Mecha Godzilla, right? Or maybe even a Hedra, right? But trust me, please watch the Gamera Heisei film trilogy, and please watch Gamera 3 in particular, so you can know more about this monster. That way you can have this monster in your collection. Because if you're like me and you don't want to invest into a monster that you don't know anything about, I understand that. So if you want this figure, please watch the film first and then go after this figure, because it is a great grab, and will add some diversity to your collection in terms of sculpt, in terms of coloring. Just an awesome rendition of the awesome monster from Gamera 3, The Revenge of Iris, with the 25cm Iris. Now, before we go into size comparison, once again, I talked about the Ric accessories that came with Gamera, so let's talk about the Ric exclusive feature that comes with Iris. Once again, it comes with the light up, and actually the plug that you have to, because it comes in a battery pack, and you have to plug the battery pack in, like in the upper torso of Iris, but you have to flip it over, because the port to put the battery pack in, the cord in, is concealed really well. It doesn't distract from the figure. It's not placed on the back of a heel or a shin like they normally do with these light ups, right? So with Iris here being such a unique monster, they couldn't really do it in the tendrils or whatever, or his leg. They actually put it up in the torso where you have to flip it over, then plug the port in. But once you do, it comes with an epic light up with the blues on the crystals or his chest or whatever, as well as the yellow in his head. It comes with a great light up. In my opinion, it's probably the best light up aside for the 25cm 2019 Godzilla that came out this year alone. So once again, I know a lot of people are tired of the light ups, and they've been done to death, and I will agree, not every light up should be used on every single kaiju that they put out, nor should it be like the go-to Ric accessory when it comes to a Ric exclusive feature of a particular S Plus figure release. But they have done a great and phenomenal job with this version of Iris with the light up, because once again, it is an epic light up, and I'm glad that they did that. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it with the being up close and personal with both Gamera and Iris, both 25cm figures, both from S Plus, both with awesome Ric exclusive features. And once again, it makes for an epic setup for the showdown between these two epic monsters from Gamera 3, The Revenge of Iris, with the 25cm battle damage version of the 1999 Gamera, as well as his foe, the 25cm Ric exclusive edition of Iris. Yes. Now, normally towards the tail end of the video, I normally talk about the movie. And I love the movie. I really do. But you know, I'm starting to do these more deep dive discussions into a particular movie. So I know I will tackle Gamera 3 at some point. So I'm not going to talk about the movie like I normally do in these videos. What I'm going to do is showcase a few size comparisons, more so than usual. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do 4 size comparisons just to give you an idea on how these figures stack up with other figures besides, put them against each other. So if you do choose to go after Gamera, or if you choose to go after Iris, or if you choose to go after both, you can still put these figures with other figures to create unique and awesome setups. So without further ado, let's go with the first size comparison right now. And you know what? Let's focus on Gamera, and let's bring up another 25cm version of a Heisei version of Gamera with the 1996 Gamera. So let's go with that first size comparison between the two 25cm Heisei versions of Gamera. Right. Okay, folks, this is the first size comparison alongside the 25cm X Plus battle damage version of the 1999 Gamera. I have the standard edition of the 25cm 1996 Gamera from Gamera Attack of Legion or Advent of Legion. And just as you saw earlier that the 1999 Gamera looks great with Iris, the 1996 Gamera looks great with Legion. And as you can see here, you see somewhat of a partial evolution of Gamera from the Heisei period. And that's one of the reasons why I actually love the Gamera Heisei films more so as a whole than the Godzilla films. Don't get me wrong, I love the Godzilla Heisei films. There are a couple I don't particularly care for, but as a whole, I prefer the Gamera Heisei films. Yes, Godzilla made more films, I get that, but in terms of quality, special effects, storytelling, I prefer the Gamera Heisei films. And Gamera's evolution, the fact that he didn't look the same in every single film, was really a big reason why I love the Heisei Gamera films. Now, with the Godzilla films, yes, his look did change, you know, throughout the film somewhat, but by and large, after '89, his look pretty much stayed the same. You know, he got chunkier in certain films. They may have increased the dorsal plates on certain films, but to the casual fan, if you would take the 92 version and put them up against the 91 version, I'm sure a lot of folks will probably not even tell the difference. But with Gamera, you could definitely tell the difference between 95, 96, and 99. And in terms of X Plus, they have done a great job with the 25cm versions of the Heisei version of Gamera, as well as the 30cm versions. But I think the 25cm versions take it a step further. The level of detail is better on the 25cm versions. Now we got a 30cm version of every version of the Heisei Gamera, right? 95, 96, 99. Now with the 25cm version, the only one we don't have is a 95. And you gotta know at some point we will get it. But until then, these are great, awesome representations of the Heisei version of Gamera, courtesy of the 96 and 99. So that's it with the first size comparison. You know what? Let's bring up his foe, Iris, in a size comparison. I mentioned Dope Pope earlier. And, you know, as I talked about earlier, he's not only did the sculpt for Iris, but he did the sculpt of Orga. So let's bring these two monsters together with the next size comparison. So let's do that right now. Okay, folks, this is the net size comparison, and alongside the X Plus 25cm version, Ric Exclusive edition of Iris, yes, sculpted by the awesome Dope Pope, I have the other monster that this masterful artist sculpted with the X Plus 25cm version of Orga. And as you can see here, he has done a phenomenal job with both sculpts of these amazing monsters. And it's kind of ironic that these two monsters comprise two of the epic kaiju films that came out in the year of 1999, with of course Iris coming from Gamera 3: The Revenge of Iris, and you have Orga, who was Godzilla's opponent in Godzilla 2000. Once again, both these monsters, both these films came out in the year of 1999, where we saw Gamera go away, and we saw the rise, or the reintroduction, if you will, of Godzilla, and these were the opponents of those iconic monsters. And once again, Dope Pope has done a phenomenal job with the sculpting of both these monsters. And if you can, please go over to the Collect All Monsters YouTube channel, where our fearless leader Kyle Young did an epic interview with the man himself. He did an interview with Dope Pope. Please go to the Collect All Monsters YouTube channel for the epic interview of Dope Pope. But once again, his work right here speaks volumes, and I've been saying it for the past couple of months. Dope Pope, if you can hear me, if you can do a sculpt of Mega Geras, that would be awesome. We'll be all over that. But until then, you have done a phenomenal job with both Orga and Iris here, and we cannot thank you enough. Yes. So that's pretty much it with the second size comparison. So you know what? Let's go with the third size comparison. And I talked about her earlier, and you kind of saw her earlier with the 25cm version of Legion, or the Queen Legion, courtesy of X Plus. So let's see how these updated versions of the Heisei Gamera foes look together in this next size comparison as I bring up the 25cm Queen Legion, courtesy of X Plus. So let's do that size comparison right now. Okay, folks, here we are with the third size comparison alongside Iris. You saw her earlier. This is the X Plus 25cm standard version, or updated version, I should say, of the Queen Legion. Yes, yes, yes. Two of the most original monsters that you will ever see, and they're original monsters from this epic Heisei Gamera film trilogy. And as I mentioned earlier, I really do believe, even though we don't have a true confirmation of this, that I believe that it was this release of this updated Legion that was the catalyst that led us down the road, or where we got this eventual awesome updated version of Iris, right? Because they done, like I said, an Iris back in the day, they done the Legion back in the day, but they were nowhere near as big and detailed as these versions are. So I really believe that the 2016 release of the updated version of the Queen Legion led us down to this road where we got this Iris here. And if that's true, I'm glad that, you know, that they did that. But as you can see here, they both command a lot of shelf space, with Legion being the bigger monster of the two because she is very, very bulky. But don't sell Iris short either, because, you know, his tendrils going in every direction commands him a lot of shelf presence. So I'm going to display these figures on separate sides of the room so they can have as much space as they can in their own individual space, so they're not run up against each other. But both these figures are awesome. Two original, in my opinion, iconic foes of Gamera. And the only thing we're missing now is an updated version of the Heisei version of Gauss. I don't particularly care for that version of Gauss, quite frankly. But if they can do this magic with the updated version of the Queen Legion and Iris here, if they can apply that same magic to an updated version of the Heisei version of Gauss or Hyper Gauss, then more likely I would go after that version as well. But until then, these are great, 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 great figures, courtesy of X Plus, and with Iris in particular, courtesy of X Plus and Dope Pope. These are awesome monsters that you can definitely add to your collection, especially if you're a Heisei Gamera fan. So that's it with the third size comparison. So let's bring forth with the fourth size comparison, the final size comparison, and let's see how the 25cm battle damage version of Gamera goes up against the 25cm 1999 version of the king of the monsters himself, Godzilla. So let's go with that final size comparison, or comparison in general, right now. Okay, folks, this is the last size comparison, and yes, 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 a matchup that all kaiju fans will love to see at some point. Godzilla versus Gamera. Gamera versus Godzilla. The guardian of the universe versus the king of the monsters. And as you can see, I have both X Plus 25cm 1999 versions of both Godzilla and Gamera. And once again, as I mentioned earlier, if you do choose to go after Gamera, or this version of Gamera I should say, as well as Iris, you know, you not only can pair them against each other, but you can also pair off, you know, them against other figures, as you saw Iris with Orga, Iris with Legion, Gamera with other versions of Gamera, and you can also create a fantasy matchup that we've all wanted to see. Hopefully we'll see it in the future, but don't hold your breath. But something that we've always wanted to see, Godzilla versus Gamera. And as you can see here with both 1999 versions of the iconic beast, these figures look well together. And it proves a point that I've been saying for the past year or so. The more recent sculpts of these figures, the 2000 here, Gamera here, as well as the 1964 B 25cm Godzilla figure, just the more recent influx of the sculpts of these more recent figures have been off the charts. They have done a great, 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 great job. You know, with Dope Pope aside, you know his digital sculpts are amazing. But whoever that's been doing the sculpts of these most recent figures, as far as like original X Plus creations, you know, like I said with Gamera here, the Godzilla 2000 here, the 93 Godzilla that came out this year, whoever's doing the sculpts have done a great, 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 great job. And when you compare the figures that are made this year in comparison to like 3 or 4 years ago, there is a drastic change. And this change right now with the more recent crop of figures, all for the better. But as you can see here, yes, they look great together. It makes you wonder what would have happened You know what I'm saying? What would have happened if Godzilla crossed paths with Gamera? Whether it's this versions, the Heisei versions, the Showa versions. So pipe down in the comment section. Who you think will win between Godzilla and Gamera? Once again, I don't think it's something that we'll ever see, but it's nice to have these figures so we can recreate what could have happened if these monsters fought each other in an epic film. But that's pretty much it with all the size comparisons that I want to put in this video. I know I've drowned a figure review in size comparisons, but I just wanted to show y'all in case y'all do choose to go after these figures, or one of these figures, that not only look great with each other, Gamera and Iris I'm talking about, but they look great with other figures from the X Plus roster, and hopefully I can convince you of that. So that's pretty much it with all the size comparisons. So let's go with my final thoughts of both the epic X Plus 25cm Ric Exclusive editions of both Gamera 1999 and Iris 1999. So let's go with that final commentary portion of the video right now. Okay, folks, I'm back with my final thoughts of the X Plus 25cm battle damage version of the 1999 Gamera, as well as the 25cm Ric Exclusive edition of Iris 1999, both from this epic film from Gamera 3, The Revenge of Iris. Once again, these are stellar, outstanding, awesome, brilliant figures. If you're a fan of the Heisei Gamera film trilogy and or these monsters, please add these kaiju figures to your collection ASAP. Not now, but right now. Once again, they are amazing. They really are. They improved on the sculpt of the original 25cm Gamera 1999, in my opinion, with this version of Gamera. Iris, the sculpt from Dope Pope is amazing. Once again, I hope he does make a Geras down the road. What he has put forth into Iris, as well as you saw Orga earlier, he is an amazing sculptor, excuse me, and he did a masterful job with this version of Iris. And as I mentioned earlier, normally this is around the part of the video where I talk about the movie, but I plan on doing a deep dive at some point in the future. I don't know when, but I know I will. But I will just say this: if you are in the hunt for these figures, go to awesomecollector.com. Yes, Jason Welland, he is awesome. He is amazing. Of course, go to his website, awesomecollector.com. And at the time of this recording is December 27th, 2020. I was on his website just yesterday, and he has not only Gamera here, the battle damage version of Gamera 1999, he has both the Ric and the standard version of Iris on his website right now. It is in stock at awesomecollector.com. So if you want both of these figures, whether it's the Ric Exclusive edition of Gamera 1999, the battle damage version, or the standard and or Ric version of Iris here, please go to his awesome website, no pun intended, of awesomecollector.com to get your hands on these figures. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Yes, yes, yes. So that pretty much concludes my double figure review of the X Plus 25cm battle damage version of Gamera 1999, as well as the 25cm Ric Exclusive edition of Iris 1999, both from their iconic appearance in the epic explosive finale that closed out Gamera's Heisei film trilogy, Gamera, The Incomplete Struggle, also known as Gamera 3, The Revenge of Iris. Yes, yes, yes. If you have any questions, comment down in the comment section. Hit me from Facebook via Leslie P. Chambers. We'll definitely go from there. Yes, once again, great, outstanding figures. And let me just tell you, as a Gamera fan, now I know he's kind of like second fiddle in a lot of people's eyes when it comes to Godzilla. I get that. But I have to say, in terms of what they put out this year for Gamera, I have been highly impressed. I've been very, 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 very happy. Between these two figures, the Favorite Sculptors line Gamera 1965 that came out from X Plus earlier this year, as well as the Arrow Blu-ray set of all the Gamera films that came out this year, they have shown the Super Turtles some love. And I'm really, really happy for that. Because once again, I know when it comes to Godzilla, Gamera kind of falls into second place in terms of popularity. But I'm glad that the Super Turtle finally got some great, 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 great love from these outstanding figure releases, as well as the Blu-ray set of every Gamera film. And what they put into that Blu-ray set is amazing. So the fact that Gamera got so much love this year really puts a fast beat in my heart, because I'm really happy to see that. You know, I'm happy to see that Gamera got so much love this year with the various releases in terms of figures, as well as the Blu-ray release here. And they're not done yet. Come next year, we already know what's coming. They got the Death of Real Gamera 1996 with the awesome Legion Flower Ric accessory that comes along with that figure. I can't wait for that, as well as the 25cm updated version of Jiger. Yes, they have done Giron, they have done Veras, they have done Zigra, but Barugon Gauss. But in terms of an updated version of a 25cm Showa Gamera villain, Jagger was the only one that they have not gotten to yet, but they will come next year, 2021, and I can't wait for that. So once again, the various releases of this year, figure releases of Gamera, Iris, the Blu-ray set, was coming with the Death of Real Gamera 1996, as well as Jagger here. I'm glad, and I'm really, really happy and grateful that Gamera is finally getting his just due after so many years of being looked at as Godzilla, as a Godzilla knockoff or rip-off and whatever. But I look at him as a great, 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 great alternative when it comes to Godzilla, Ultraman, King Kong, or whatever. He is up there along with the rest of them. He is no longer a knockoff. He has earned his place as an icon when it comes to tokusatsu. All hail the Guardian of the Universe, and Iris too. The Guardian of the Universe, Gamera. Yes, yes, yes. So please get these figures. You would not be disappointed. Trust me when I say that. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see y'all again on this figure move review. Once again, this is the last video of 2020. And I couldn't go out on a better note talking about these awesome figures from this awesome movie of Gamera 3. So once again, everybody that has stuck with me throughout this tumultuous year of 2020, thank you so much. And if you thought this year was good, 2021, I have a feeling it's going to be even greater. And it can't happen without all your support here on Laser Chambers Kaiju Reviews, as well as Collect All Monsters. So thank you. Hope you had a great or a cool 2020 despite the circumstances. And I hope for everybody to have a happy new year and a great 2021 in just a week or so. Thank you so much, and y'all take care. All right, guys, be easy.